G'day YouTube, my name's Lance, welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. Well, the weather report. Well, look, the top temperatures are about 25, 27 at the moment, and we're having showers. So yeah, this is the fourth attempt at doing the stew. So I've brought it all into my office at work here. Sunday morning I started doing the stew and I got a little bit done. And yeah, look, I just started showering rain on the roof on Bundy Bear's shed. So look, and that just, the sound equipment here, I can dial some of the sound out, the background sound, but it was just too loud. I couldn't get it away from the video. So, so I thought, well, not to worry. I'll do it later in the afternoon. Well, I went up I just tinkered around the shed, tidying up and did a few things. Got the back of the 65 washed, the plate that goes on the back that the bell housing goes on, got that all washed up. And yeah, I thought, I'll go up the house and have some lunch and I'll come back in the afternoon. Well, we had visitors all Sunday afternoon and Mum come out, and so 4 or 5 o'clock we had the visitors gone, and then I thought, I'll race up the shed, and of course then the evening showers came in, and yeah, it was just too much to film. So I thought, right, not to worry, I'll do it Monday. So Monday, which is yesterday, so this is Tuesday morning at work. At time is just after 5 a.m. I've come in here early before the phone starts ringing. It is showering outside still, but in my office here, you'll probably notice a sound will echo because it's just a small room. I don't know how the microphone deals with that in here, but pardon me, I've got the door shut in case it showers, because outside my office is like the warehouse and there's a tin roof out there. So yeah, yesterday, Monday, which is normally a home day for doing the stew, I had to come to work here because Ross is away on annual leave. He's just away for 3 weeks. He's having a break. And Alan, that's the next fella down on the phone downstairs there, well, it's his rostered day off. So all our staff get a rostered day off every month. So what happens, they work a little bit up extra each day. They work a little bit more than their 7.6 hours a day. And they work about 8 hours roughly, and that builds up, and every month they get a rostered day off. So, and which is great, it gives them time to go fishing, doing their personal business or whatever. But yesterday was Alan's day, so there was only Judy and Nicole downstairs with all the eBay sales, all the website sales, the phones and all that. So so we decided the best place for me to be yesterday was going to be in at the shop here, helping out. So I got here at about 5:15 yesterday morning and started sorting through emails and things like that. Well, I got home late yesterday. I thought, right, I'll race up to the shed and do the stew. I did a quick walk around outside to have a look at those sugarcane carriages my old mate Rocket brought to home to work on. And yeah, I just got that done, sat down to do the stew inside last night, and down come the rain again, so washed me out. So so I thought, not to worry, I'll go into my little shipping container workshop there. So I shut the door there and away we went. But at the end of a working day, and still thinking about, did I do this, or I've got to send Harry those bearings tomorrow and all that sort of thing. I couldn't concentrate on the stew to have a chat. So I canned that. And so I got out of bed early this morning and I thought, bugger it, I'll just get in, come into the shop here. I can control the environment a bit. Outside, we've got the main road outside there, and a few cars go past, but it's not too bad. But yeah, it depends what the sound does. But the sound looks like it's got a full run on the board there, so that's a good thing. But yeah, so getting the stew done. This is the fourth attempt at the stew, and it's Tuesday morning. So as soon as the stew comes off the camera, it's getting dropped into the laptop, which I haven't even put my laptop up there to do the editing yet. I haven't got there. I haven't even got my other computers on. I just thought I'd come in here and get this sorted out early in the day. So I can move on, and you get a stew, I get to get it done, and the grandkids, we've got to look after the grandkids for an hour or two through the middle of today. Yeah, Ellie's got an appointment with young Freya, so yeah, so busy day. But anyway, we're here, we're having a go. So, and this is, for those, I haven't done a stew in my office here for bloody ages, and this is my little playpen. I've got all these little tractors and things here, and the little fella, he comes in and presses buttons. Presses buttons on tractors and makes noise and does all that. I've got a few Fergies here. This one's a 1/8 scale TEA 20. Not many of those around. They're quite expensive. But yeah, I don't know, I just like to have a little collection. It's just boards with bits of pipe and pipe fittings holding it together, so it sort of suits the business. And I've got tractor books of different sizes and all that in there. So yeah, look, it's a good, I like fiddling and I like getting extra stuff for my shelf there, and it's nearly too big. Oh, actually, I've nearly got too much stuff for it, but I'll just reshuffle. I'll start putting 2 tractors per shelf if I keep buying tractors, so we'll see. See what happens with that anyway, so we'll see. Oh, new hat, different hat today. Massey Ferguson, established 1958. So that's, you wouldn't believe the amount of hats I've got, and so I thought, oh, I might just scroll a few through. You know, I'll wear the Sparex one and the CRC one a bit, but I've got these other hats tucked away with bits and pieces on them, so yeah, I'll do a stew with a hat on. So you want to send me a bloody hat, send me a hat and I'll wear it for you and do a stew with it on, just for the fun of it. No other reason. And I've got a few to go. If I slide over here, yeah, that's another Massey Ferguson one that they gave me. So that's not a bad one. Ag Clutch, Australian Clutch Service. I've been dealing with them a bit. So yeah, so a few hats coming up. I always keep a couple in the office here, in case I'm having a bad hair day. So mention that, but anyway, we'll see. A few things going on. I got a stepper motor here now on my CNC router. I'm not sure if I told you or not. I crashed the router, and on the corner of the job, when you bring the tool up to a corner of a job, you can tell the computer that is 0 there, and so you bring it up to wherever you'd like your 0 on your drawing or on your job, and you set your X, your Y, and your Z, and anyway, I set that up on the job, and then what I often do, I don't have a common 0 because of the different sizes of wood I'm using, so you can just, you know, put a rail in the corner and have the 0 there and clamp everything into the corner, but I may do that after this, but I bought the tip to 0 and just pressed start, and I forgot to 0 the Mach 3 board on the computer, and the stepper motor for the X axis, it went across and crashed into the bolt and the little clamp holding it in, and I was using a 6mm carbide tool, and it blunted it, but it didn't break it or anything. But the stepper motor on the X axis after that was a bit noisy. So, and it also had a fault. It blew a fuse in the main box, not in the computer box, not the house, not the shed box, and just from overload. So I jumped online. I ordered a few extra stepper motors, and NEMA 23s, are they? Something like that, rings a bell. 8mm shaft, 75mm body, 24 volt, and so I ordered them, and one of them come last week. So last Thursday evening after work, I went up to the shed and I thought, right, I'll fit this stepper motor. So I put the stepper motor on, got it all set up, cleaned all the rails and everything while I had it apart, and put it on, and it worked okay. And you'd press on the screen on the computer, you'd press right and off she'd go to the right, and left, off she'd go to the left. But then now and then, say you were pressing right, you'd go right, and it'd go right. You'd press left and it'd keep going right. And I thought, oh, that's no bloody good. So, and the old stepper motor, after I crashed it, it was doing that. But it must have bent a shaft or something in it because it was noisy, but it wasn't following true. So on old bloody YouTube, jump on YouTube for a big look, and looking at stepper motor problems and what can happen with a stepper motor, and it turns out that if your stepper motor doesn't know to continue on, there's a field winding out of these 4 wires on your controller inside the box of the computer. There's a yellow wire there, and that looks after the field for your steppers. And they were saying there's probably a fault in that field. So I thought, oh well, no one else but me to fix it, so I better pull this bloody thing apart. So I pulled the box apart. And the other thing I did just to diagnose it a little bit was to, at the back of the controller, your stepper motor controller, I swapped the X and the Y axis in the plugs to see if the problem transferred across to the Y axis, which would tell me that the problem's in the box. So I swapped the plugs. The problem was in the Y axis then instead of the X axis. So that told me that that stepper control board or something was playing up. So I pulled it all apart, and this took me two evenings to do all this, and pulled it apart. And yeah, one of the little plugs on the stepper motor controller for the X axis, yeah, one of the little multi-pin plugs had come down. So, and it was just a poor connection. I don't know whether it was from me rolling it around doing the fuse or what, but anyway, look, now the router's going like a beauty. So yeah, Sunday actually Sunday after the visitors went and before the visitors went in the rain, I did a bit of CRC. I've got CRC on the head. CNCing, and look, it's working like a beauty. So, but yeah, so that stepper motor, it can go in the bin. But I bought 3 of them. They're $49 each. So if anything else plays up, I have a spare stepper motor for it, and I can just pop it in and away we go. So they're neat. Something like NEMA 23s, I think they were. There's a 17 and a 23. This is a 23. So anyway, CNC's back going, so that's a good thing. My friend Bruce, a lot of you will know Bruce Witham, and particularly if you're in the YouTube machining groups or things like that. And Bruce was up here a week or so ago now. Bruce and his missus come up, and they come from Brisbane just to say g'day up in Bundy Bear's shed here, and yeah, they come out home, and we had a few beers in the afternoon. One arvo, he had the tour of the shop, the little machine shop, and Bundy Bear's shed. He had a good look around there. Then we went up into the pool room and had a couple of beers, and look, it was just nice, a good chance for a chat. But then a couple of nights later, they did a bit of terry touristing around the place, and had a look at the rum distillery and a few other bits and pieces around town. And then we went out for dinner on the Monday night before they left town, sort of thing. And then the next day, Bruce bolts into my office and he says, "Here, look what I've got for you." So he's got he makes this true line. It's a spacer for a 3-jaw chuck for in the jaws. Now Bruce made this, and he's got them boxed up and he's marketing them. I think if you look up YouTube, Gemtrek, Gemtrek, and he sells these, and these are his design, and they're wire cut, so they're all cut. And what happens is, and I was going to show you in my shop, but just the weather didn't happen. But with a 3-jaw chuck, your 3 jaws sit in here, and your jaws can still open and close in your chuck. But this is a spacer, and so this can go in, and if you need to space a job out, you can. And there's a little Allen key here, and you can see there's a little magnet comes out at the back there. It's just in there. So I'll see if I can give you a little bit closer look of it. So you can see the little magnet there, and you can adjust those magnets in and out, so it moves this spider in and out. So yeah, Bruce gave me one of those to try, and I told him what I would do, and I haven't yet, is we're going to pull 3 jaws out of my 6 jaw chuck and just see how it goes there. I have a 6 jaw that I use, but yeah, no, I like the 6 jaw, but I've got the 4 jaw in at the moment. So, but yeah, Bruce makes them, and they're EDM wire cut. Then they're anodized finish on them, a matte anodized finish, and yeah, he gets the little screws made and the magnets made and all that, and beautifully packaged. It sits in a little box here, and yeah, so beautifully packaged bit of gear. And I'm yet to play with it, but I told Bruce I'd put it on the stew, and I sent Bruce and Batea, his wife, home with a couple of Bundy Bear shed stubby coolers and t-shirts. Chucked a t-shirt on them, so they'll be pretty flash, really. Yeah. So that's just an interesting thing. I'm not sure if you'd seen it before, but yeah, Gem Trek True Line 3 jaw chuck stop. He has other things in the pipeline. I think possibly a 4 jaw. I don't know. He told me, but I know he's working on other stuff. And serial number 2021 155. So I've got the 155th one of these that he sold so far. So that's a good thing. And another thing is with my Tascam D70, I've been using these phone charging power banks. And this old banger here, it is a 300,000 milliamp hour. Now, I haven't worked that out into amp hours. I don't know, someone will tell me. Put in the comments what it is. 300,000 milliamp hours, and this one lasts okay. And I can do probably 4 or 5 hours filming, and I can do quite a bit of stuff with this running the sound system. And I have to remember to charge it up each time. I have an orange one the same, and I thought, well, I'll buy another one. An orange one the same, supposed to be the same. This one, say this lasts 4 hours. That one, if you get 2 hours, you're flat. We're sitting on 61% now. So same brand, same everything, but that one's just lasts half the time of this one. So in my workshop, I run a lot of Makita stuff, like as in, no particular reason, I just started with Makita gear when I started with cordless tools, and I've just kept going with that. I just can't see the sense of swinging across to Milwaukee now when I've got like 12 or 15 different tools for Makita, the 18-volt system. So the other day I was perusing eBay and I come across this. So what this does for me, I can plug a 1.5, a 3, a 6 amp hour Makita battery on, and that gives me a double USB port for charging phones and all that sort of stuff. So in my particular situation with my camera setup, this gives me the option then of putting a 6 amp hour battery in there, plugging it into the charging system for the morning, into the sound system I mean for the morning. And if I think it's getting a bit doughy, well, instead of having to take one of these and charge them and muck around, which they take a long time to charge. I do have a fast charger from Makita, and I can charge a 3 amp hour battery in 22 minutes. So this here, I bought 2 of these, and if you go away camping or something like that, you can slide them in. I did see them there for Milwaukee, and there may have been something else too, but I just chose to go that way, and that's the noise outside's Judy bringing the bins in. The garbo's just been with the bins, and Judy's outside rattling, bringing the bins in. But yeah, so I thought I'd give this a try. And so what this can do is these little Rode microphones, they're a USB-C charger. So I'm yet to try it, but when you say you have a phone charger going into the base station microphone while you're talking, you get this little feedback sound through this, and when you can see it on your software. So so these fellas here run on USB-C, so I can probably yeah, don't tell anyone, a hidden microphone. Yeah, so with this here, if we're doing a longer session, I have two of these, two of the personal units, but one of the other ones, one of the base station ones. So I'm just going to see if, instead of having it plugged into the mains power to, you know, like a Samsung phone charger into the top one to do a full day's filming, whether doing this would put the feedback in or not, you know, not being hooked to AC current and things like that. So we'll just see how that goes. But yeah, this here, that will give me a longer time. And this one's getting really old, and I've dropped it and it's got a crack out of here. But the new one I bought just to have a backup, it's rubbish compared to the old one. So, but yeah, 300,000 milliamp hours. And I should Google that, but I will after the stew. But anyway, we'll see. But so yeah, and look, these things here, I see them there the other day, and not only do they have like a USB port, you know, for charging phones and things like that, you can buy them with just two wires coming out as a power supply. And I use them for some of the lights for filming up on the back of the bench if I need to get a bit of light down one way. I've got those little LEDs, and they're really for the back of a car or something like that. They're probably 50 mil square, and multi-voltage, so you can just put your Makita 18 volt battery in, and they last quite a few hours. So but yeah, that's just an interesting thing. I thought I'd have a crack at that and just see how it works. I think it'll be okay. Yeah, well, I'll let you know. I'll be whinging if it's not. Friday afternoon, my mate Rocket, he went and picked up some old Ferrymead sugar mill railway carriages. Now, these wooden carriages, they've been out of action for years and years and years. They're wooden frames with steel pulls on them and things like that. And the club has two of them. The Rum City Vintage Machinery Club has two of these things, and Dave's offered to restore them, and he said to me, you know, any chance could he do them at home now, because he's in town and I've got a little bit of room. I said, yeah, no worries. So anyway, the other week he found out about oh, look at that, someone pulling a wheelie outside. They get extra horsepower in the wet. All of a sudden it rains and you've got an extra 50 horsepower in the old shitbox. So, yeah, so Friday afternoon, Dave and Paul are out picking up these sugarcane trolleys. The wheels have been taken off them, but Dave knows where there's a set of wheels for one for himself. So he's going to bring the club ones into home there and restore them best he can. And then these other ones, he's going to make himself one as well. And some of the steel work on it's good. Some of it's been bent. And look, he's pulling them out of a pile. The Stewart's Engineering over the back of where our business is here, sort of thing. They got them years ago, and they had something they wanted the wheels for some job. So they ended up buying a heap of these old cane train wagons. So the wheels are missing, but all the steel and that's there. So, but anyway, over time they've changed hands, and they've just been pushed in a big heap, and they're pushed in a big heap ready to burn. So Dave clicked onto that, so he's gone around and picked them up, and he's picked up 4 so far. I don't know if he's going to get any more, but they got rained out, they got a wet arse, and I said, look, I'll leave the forklift out for you, so if I don't get home on time, you know, get stuck at work here, I'll leave the forklift out for you, and you just can unload and just put them on a pallet, so when we do the mowing we can just lift them out of the way and all that. But oh no, we're not going to go near your place without you there. And I said, look, you blokes have known you for bloody years, and just go with it, you're right to go. But they wouldn't do that. So anyway, I had to talk to them about, I had to give them a ring as soon as I was coming home, and yeah, so I can get the forklift going and sort that out. So anyway, they come home Friday afternoon, and yeah, Dell was there on the gym, and we had the grandkids there, and then Dave and Paulie rolled up, and we got all the cane trolleys unloaded. And I've done a little bit of a clip at the end of the stew on having a look at those what's involved in them, or what they look like. And they originally would have had like hungry boards up the side, and it was for the whole stick. Like when with the sugar cane, you know, the hand cutters used to come in, and then later they cut it long sticks with machines, but now they chop it into billets and they just feed it into like big cages on the trains. But these were the real early ones, and Bingra Sugar Mill had a different one to the Ferrymead Sugar Mill in the area. So these are Ferrymead ones, but there's certainly plenty there, and the steel parts that are hard to find, they're on these ones. So yeah, Dave's doing that up. I don't know if he's going to put new timber on, or he's going to reclaim the old timber, or what he's going to do. But anyway, the couple of the big main pulls are bent, but we can get them in the press and straighten them out and do all that. So yeah, look, that's an interesting thing to do. I got the 1640 steering knuckles done on Saturday, and I got that filmed. The 1640's over in the hoist bay now, and I took time the other day and got a bit damp, but it was all right. And I've got the wheels in narrow, and I've taken a little video of that where the cutting edge on the blade is 1800 wide. The front wheels are in a bit narrower than the cutting edge, which is great if you want to do a nice clean edge. But the back wheels are about 50 mil wider. They're 1900 wide. So I'm just going to leave it like that and see how it goes for a little bit. But it's in the lube bay. I need to do the towing yet. I need to give it an engine oil change. I'll probably drop the back end oil out and replace the filter, the transmission filter, and just have a look at the screen, make sure that's clean, there's nothing going on there. The other day I dropped I replaced the seals and videoed it in the left hand hub. Then the right hand hub, I just changed the oil, and I changed the oil again the other day, and I'm getting a little bit of flaky stuff out of it. So I'm not sure, I might have to do a recce in there and just make sure there's nothing too serious going on. Okay, my bloody camera timed out, so I just had to have a quick reset. But look, that's gonna, for the on the channel this week, I think there's 3 episodes of the 65 coming out. Yeah, 3 of the 65 restoration. I have to do the one on just how to replace your steering knuckles on the John Deere 1640. Hopefully I can get that out this week. On the weekend I got the front axle on the 65 back under it. So, I mean back under it, I mean the front axle's fully assembled now. It's in the front bolster. All that's done, but I still need to do the tie rod ends, but I have them there to do. But I've married the front axle support, the front bolster, to the front of the engine, so that's all one piece. And we've got it across sideways to where the 65 is, where we did the last part of the TEA 20 series. And the reason it's there is I have a big light overhead. I have a light over to the right just a little bit, and it's out of the breeze and all that. So it's over there. I've got the tool trolley. Actually, I'll take a quick video of that I have taken a quick video of that, where I have my parts books and things like that as I'm working along. So I've washed the back housing that goes on before the flywheel. So the jobs I can do from now is I need to sandblast the fan and put it on. The radiator, I've made a radiator back flush tool, and I can show how to back flush a radiator in the 65. Now, whether I use the original radiator or a brand new one, which I have there, I'll just see how that goes. The radiator shroud has two little supports, one of them's broken off, so I need to deal with that. So I can start building that front end of the tractor up with that back plate on the back of the engine. Now I've done the rear engine seal, I can put the flywheel on, I can put the clutch on. I've cut the, you remember with the 65 it had a little frame on it with a blue tarp on the top. I've cut that out of the way so I can get the steering box up next. I haven't pulled the steering wheel off yet. I thought I'd try and film that when it's not raining. So I've put a bit of CRC penetrate around that to soak in. So we'll see how that goes. So the stand that I put the 6-speed gearboxes on to work on, that stands free now. I've taken other stuff I had off that I had on it off it, and so it's ready for when I pull the steering box, pull the gearbox, I can put the gearbox on the stand. And if you have a look at the Massey Ferguson 135's 6-speed series, when I did the gearbox I could wind it up so we could get the camera down. Well, the same thing will happen with the 65. So, but look, that's enough rambling for the day. I'll get this video out of the camera, get the sound card, and I'll bang them all into my laptop, and you should see this within a few hours. I'll try and stitch it all together if I get left alone, and yeah, we'll see how we go. But look, have a good week, everyone. There is a few videos coming out this week. If there's a sunny day this week, I'm not going to go to work. I'm come to work in here. I'm going to try and bolt home and get a bit of filming done, just to yeah, it's good to have a nice big shed, but it's just not worth me insulating it, you know, for a proper sound bay and things like that when it's, well, the floor's 300 square metres, and then by the time so there's 300 square metres of roof area, then there's, the walls are 4.8 metres high by 25 metres long, so I'm not doing that. Just not worth it. But anyway, see how we go. But look, have a good week, everyone. That'll have to do for the stew. There is a little walk around later. Just done a couple of little snippet videos like normal, and yeah, we'll catch you all next week, eh? Well, look, we've got the 1640 in the hoist bay. Now, when we look down the side of the cutting edge now, I think that's about right. See, the front wheels are in behind, and when you run the tape measure, the back ones might be 50 mil outside of the cutting edge here. So I think that's okay. I've got all the steering knuckles on. I'm not sure that you'll be able to see that. There's a video coming out as soon as I get a bit of time to do that. But yeah, for the 1640, I still need to do the toe in, you know, just make sure the wheels are running straight ahead. And it does need an engine oil change, and engine oil and filter, and probably a fuel filter, and I may do the tranny filter as well, and have a look inside and make sure it's not making any little surprises for me. And this is something a bit new for you. The engine's off the stand now. I'm ready to put the back plate on. That's if I can stay home. I've got the whole front bolted on, ready to do the, you know, the fan and the radiator support, and a little bit of undercoat to go there still, but mainly it's pretty good. Oh, this is my muck ass around bench. I'll put my camera bag. It usually just stays on a hook over the back, but yeah, that's a Sparex book with the steering in it, and I'll try and stay out of the thing. That's a parts book for the 65, and this other with the microphone. I've run out of batteries on this little light, and so that's a workshop manual that yeah, that come from the Friends of Ferguson Heritage, so to help with the restoration. So yeah, look, it works well. I do keep a drawer here with like the Perkins book in, and the little engineer's black book, and all the cords that you need for doing a stew or two. Well, these are the old Ferrymead cane trailers that were hauled behind the locomotive
to take the big sticks of sugar cane into the sugar mill back early in the piece. Now Dave got onto these. You can see that yoke there where the axle was, and on a couple of them you can see where the wheel wore into the side. So it was a cane railway, and it covered a heap of area, and these were going to be pushed up. Dave got the best of them that he could so far. These were going to be pushed up in a heap and burnt, so he's gone and saved them. You can see that main rod there. Now there's one hook that hooks onto the carriage in the front, and there's this one solid piece of blacksmith forged steel, and that goes on the other one. So there's quite a bit of rust pitting there. A couple of these fellas, there's not much rust on them at all. They've fared very well, so we may be able to straighten them up in the press. But yeah, the benefit of these, like, we can get timber for them, and this is Dave's job, so he can sort of decide what he wants to do with them. But we can get timber. There is some timber here worth doing, but those forged items there, and you know where, oh, that's not a good example, but yeah, the round bits of steel down the bottom there where the carriages used to bump and wear on each other and all that sort of thing, we can roll that. But these forged hooks and some of the original old bits of tie rod and all that hold the whole show together, they're well worth saving. So yeah, so I've let Dave have a little bit of turf here, and yeah, hopefully it's not too wet for him and he can get something done over in the next couple of months or two. So we'll run a lead out for him and he can knock himself out. I probably won't do much with him. I just have so much on the go, but yeah, that'll be something interesting. As he progresses with them, I'll keep you all informed.